the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's going on, AfterBuzzers? This is Host Highlights. As always, I'm your host, Olivia Gabaree, and today I am joined by Taylor Gates.
Hello.
Or Alphaba.
Alphaba Ann on Twitter.
No.
Not elephant.
I misread her Twitter name at first, and I was like, wait, is that what it, like, I was like, what's the story behind it? But in actuality, Alphaba is...
From a musical, from my favorite musical, Wicked. And I was in, like, a 7th grader when I made it, so...
Yeah, but it sticks. Do people call you by your Twitter name ever?
Sometimes. A couple of the hosts here do.
Are you offended that they're calling you
No, I like it. I'm, like, in people's phones, it's Alphaba Ann, and I'm like, it's my brand, guys, it's fine.
Exactly. So after doing some research on you, I found out that we have a similar path. Imagine that. Yes. Well, we were both interns here at AfterBuzz.
Yes.
You more recently than I, but I feel like your OG story here at AfterBuzz is like one of my favorites of all time.
Thank you.
So you start off as a true super fan.
Yes.
Of Foster's.
Yes.
Which is, it's a freeform show, yeah?
It is, yes.
Okay, so how did you come across it? Well, you're from Indiana, right?
I'm from Indiana.
You're nowhere near LA.
Nowhere near LA, thousands and thousands of miles away, but I loved the Fosters on freeform. I'm like a huge super fan, have been since the beginning. I like downloaded it for free on iTunes. Ooh. And then was just like a huge fan ever since. And we have like a great Foster's panel who has been pretty much the same people since season 1. I think there's been a few changes, but like still to today, to their last season.
Wow.
It's like Jeff Masters, Jillian Leff, all of those people. And I just loved the after show so much and would watch it live every week and go in the live chat and stuff. And I remember I didn't want to work at Walmart again for the next summer. That's what I've been doing.
Classic.
Yes, of course. And so I sent a direct message to Jeff Masters on Twitter, and I was like, do you know of any internships, like, out in California, just pretty much anything. I just kind of want to like see more of the world and go exploring and kind of start my career. And he's like, oh, AfterBuzz has interns every summer, and I was like, hook me up. So yeah, and the rest is history, pretty much.
What were you? First of all, were you nervous to reach out to him? Because I feel like you're watching him on a screen weekly.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I used to think of like AfterBuzz hosts as like these celebrities and like all these like kind of unapproachable people, but he was so nice and so friendly, and I think hosts are really good about like interacting with fans though, so like there's no reason to be nervous.
Exactly.
But it was nerve-wracking, but I'm like so glad I did it, obviously.
And now you're a guest host sometimes on the show, right? What is that like?
It's a dream come true, honestly.
Did you ever think you would see yourself on that screen?
Oh no. I think I had an actual dream about it one night. Like,
it's the law of attraction.
It really is, and it's cool. Now I like hang out with them sometimes, and I'm like, 2013 me would have been so excited about this.
So it's a glow up.
It really is.
Imagine. That's so funny. So now, aside from Foster's, you do have your own shows here that you host as well, which House of Cards. You're a panelist on that show. How do you feel about it coming to an end?
I'm really sad, but I kind of think it's time. I think that the the previous season was like a little bit more ups and downs, and I think that the like previous ones were so solid, and so I want them to end it on a high note. And I'm so excited about Robin Wright being like the lead though, because she deserves it so much, and her character is just so dynamic and evil and crazy and awesome.
And that's great. I mean, it's cool that you get to wrap up, you know, the show and be just like kind of the last.
I'm very excited. We have a great panel for that,
the legendary panel.
Yes.
So, do you think being like a fan of this and then being in front of the camera, does it help you in any way?
For sure, and because I think I was kind of forced to watch shows before this, and I could kind of see like what I liked that different hosts did and try to incorporate that into my own kind of style as I've tried to find the confidence to talk more on air, because my first couple shows I remember I was like pretty much silent.
They're always so awkward.
They're
For me
so
too,
awkward.
because I remember I was sitting with my hands behind the desk, and I was like, I don't know when I'm allowed to talk. Like, what if I say something stupid?
I could not like get myself to jump in at first, and I like had a pen. I remember, and I was like just fidgeting with a pen, which is like not what you're supposed to
And
do.
then
at
you
all.
watch yourself, and you don't even realize you've been doing it the entire time.
And I would listen to myself, and I would say like every other word. I was like, Taylor,
That-
that's enough.
Well, that's a huge lesson to be learned to anybody who wants to be a host. Is as dreadful as it is sometimes to have to watch yourself, you have to watch yourself.
So hard.
Yeah, because you nitpick it, but then you'll never do it again.
For sure.
So that's how it is.
Yeah.
And I think I love your story specifically. I mean, within Host Highlights, I've been interviewing a lot of veteran hosts, people who've been doing this for years, but you're pretty new to this. Like, you're fresh out of college, moved across the country. You have been coming here for summers, right? And now you're here permanently?
Permanently. It's so exciting, and it's so nice. I kind of love the fact that I was just out here for certain chunks of time, because I got to make a lot of friends and build those roots and kind of come back to it, and it feels, you know, like a second home, and it feels like, you know, I have all my people that I can come back to, my second family, just in another state, which is really nice.
Yeah. Do you have any advice to somebody who may be like yourself, that's just, whether a super fan of television or just someone that wants to step out of their comfort zone? Like, you move so far away just so fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, something that's really helped me is social media, because I made so many friends, like, on Twitter and stuff, and then when you meet them in person, like, be careful you're not, like, getting catfished or whatever, but, you know, when you develop these relationships over text or Twitter for 2 or 3 years, you come into it and you, like, have dinner with that person, and it's just, like, so natural, because you do have that history. So, social media to, like, network and connect with people, and the second thing I can say is just you have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to just take that leap, and like the moment you start getting comfortable is when it's time for a change, or else you're never gonna grow.
I feel like Keven, who, you know, it runs the show around here, his voice is always in the back of my head. Something he always says is, less think, more do.
Yeah.
And anytime I'm overthinking something, or I'm just trying to take a chance like that, it's like that's replaying in my head.
Just have to do it, and it will pay off. Like, there's gonna be struggles, but in the end, like, I'm so happy here, and I can't picture myself anywhere else. So
yeah. And so aside from this television world, your thing in Hollywood is kind of writing, right? That's the direction you want to go in.
Yes.
What's your ideal dream?
Okay, so eventually it would be great to be like a showrunner overseeing my own TV show. My more kind of short-term goal is just to write for a TV show, just be a staff writer. So hopefully someday soon that will happen.
So how does somebody approach that goal?
The thing is, there's so many paths that you can take to get to that place, I think, because I've, you know, read a bunch of books and talked to a bunch of people, and like everyone has a very kind of different path to get there. Like, you can be a production assistant on a show, you know, you can just network and somehow get promoted there, you can just like kind of blindly submit scripts. Like, there's a lot of different directions, which is cool, but it's also like, I kind of wish someone would just tell me exactly what I need to do.
Yeah, like, I wish there was a map that just told you like what to do and how to do it.
Give me a recipe.
So, do you write scripts in your free time?
Yeah, I do. I've written a movie script, and I've written a pilot episode so far. Those are like my completed projects.
Is there a specific genre that you prefer?
I love dramedy. Like, I love that mix of like the very dramatic, but also those comedic moments. Like, Gilmore Girls is it's like my favorite show of all time. So I like that really like witty dialogue too. And then I love family dramas and just exploring family relationships, especially like female relationships. Like, I love that like female empowerment and like mentorship and stuff.
So if you could be on a panel, I mean, aside from Gilmore Girls, I know that's your favorite.
Yes.
Is there another one that kind of is in your lane?
I mean, it would just have to be The Fosters still. That's like just my absolute favorite. I love Unreal though too, which is
That's a good show.
So good. It's kind of different than like a family show, but in its own little way. It's like a behind the scenes family. So
well, and at least, you know, a lot of people are very specific to a certain type, but it seems like you're a little bit open.
Oh yeah, I like things all over the place. I like some foreign shows. Like there's this Danish show that I love. I just am like gonna just plug this whenever I can.
Yeah.
Because no one watches it. Watch Rita on Netflix, guys. It's so good.
Maybe AfterBuzz will give you a panel.
Okay, and I'll just
see, we're putting
Danish.
the word in here,
Yes.
sliding it in. You know what I mean?
Now I'm gonna hold everyone to this.
So, and aside from writing scripts, you actually write for BuzzFeed too, don't you? I've been looking at some of your quizzes.
Yes.
So, how do you come up with ideas for quizzes at BuzzFeed?
You know, I don't know. Sometimes it's nice because I got invited to be on this like BuzzFeed contributors Facebook page, which is nice. So it's like for people who have like been featured a few times or are very active in it, and they'll do like different challenges, which is cool. Like there's like the back to school challenge, and so you want to like that week make as many back to school posts as you can, or like the holiday challenge. So that definitely helps because I made like a bunch of back to school posts like in August, and then like a lot of them are like entertainment themed, and just I've written ones about like Law and Order SVU and like Unreal and the Fosters and all of that.
So would you say you write what you know?
For sure. Yeah.
And I mean, now that you've developed a relationship with them, it seems a little bit easier, but someone who just wants to straight up write for BuzzFeed, how did you get your foot in the door?
So honestly, anyone can make posts for BuzzFeed, which is something that not a lot of people know, I feel like. You can just go on there and sign up and start making posts. If they feature it, that's when you start getting like all the traffic, because by yourself you can still get views, especially if you share it on like Facebook or Twitter, but when they like promote it and like put it on their like front page, or like they're like they have little subgenres like rewind or things like that, then you can get like hundreds of thousands of views, which is so cool, especially for someone who's like in Indiana, who doesn't have access to that large audience.
So you're writing from Indiana.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like a thought I would have is like, oh, you have to be in LA or you have to be present, but I guess for writing it's just totally remote.
It's very remote because everything's so digital now, which makes it so much easier, you know, to network.
So you've gotten big features before, right? How does that feel?
So good. It's so crazy.
Do they tell you when they're gonna feature it, or you just come across it?
They send you an email, and they're like, we've like badged your quiz featured, and then like we've badged it trending, and when it trends, it's like, oh man, because you get the little arrow, you know, that goes up.
Yeah, I think I would frame that in my bedroom to remember, that was me.
Oh, it was
like
so
that first
cool.
YouTube dollar, that first. Cherish these moments, you know?
I remember my first feature too. It was a Zodiac quiz for Law and Order SVU.
Oh, and what did you find out at the end? Like, what was the goal of the quiz?
Like what character you're most like based on your zodiac sign.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very complex.
I did so much research.
I'm gonna take it as you're a fan of SVU.
I love SVU.
Yeah, I think everybody low-key does.
Yeah, seriously. Like, you have to marathon it if it's on, like, USA.
I think that's the only way to watch it is just I don't think I've ever watched it another way.
It's because they're like, you know, there's like chips. Like, you can't just eat one. You have to like consume 20 episodes if you start it.
So aside from BuzzFeed, you also write for another magazine as well. So it's Starry, Constellation magazine.
Yes.
And that's like TV and television review too, right?
Yep.
So that's like your lane.
Yes, it is. That's my jam.
And then you write for AfterBuzz as well. And so
just writing all over the place.
I know. I guess I'm gonna look up some of your articles. I want to know your opinion on certain TV shows. Do you have like certain shows that you have to write about?
No. The thing about Starry Mag, which is really nice, is our editors-in-chief, I'll give them a shout out, Lisa and Jamie, are like so cool and just let you kind of sign up for whatever you're interested in. So that's really nice. So I get to recap whatever I want that way, and then you can pitch them like opinion pieces, which is nice. And since I am in LA now and have been for the past couple summers, when they get invited to press events, because they're based in Florida, they'll like send them to me and let me
and you
be
go
a
on their
reporter.
behalf.
Yeah.
What's the coolest event you've been to?
I got to go to an Unreal red carpet.
Ooh.
And I got to interview like all of the stars, and it was my first red carpet, and I was like a deer in the headlights, but it was the most amazing experience.
I bet. And you even go on the panel here, right?
Yeah,
so
sometimes.
that's probably so cool to watch on television and get to ask some questions in person. person.
Oh, for sure. It was amazing.
That's like the best part about LA, I think.
Yes, because you just run into like random people and can go to all these events, and it's so neat.
Unreal.
Yes.
You
I
see
love
what I
it.
did there?
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks
I'm
for
so
having
happy
me.
I could share your story with the AfterBuzz world.
Well, it was so fun to like just chat with you.
Oh, yes. All right, guys, you can hit me up at _O_G, and you can hit Taylor up and see her viral tweet. Yeah, she got a viral tweet.
Little hint right there.
What's your Twitter handle?
You can find me on Twitter at alphaba_Ann.
Do you have an Instagram?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_.
Hey, don't forget the underscores.
Don't forget the underscores.
All right, guys, I'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.